Welcome to Happy's Dash TV, everybody. We're so glad you guys could make it today. We're going to go over another vehicle that's a great way to diversify your portfolio. We're just making suggestions. It's basically on what we've done research on that we feel are going to work for everybody and getting everybody with a humanitarian improvement projects. So the XRP is one that we are focusing on primarily. And Jason, you got anything to say about that?
Yes, I wanted to say that get our disclaimer out
Yep.
that anything that we discuss on this video is not to be taken as financial advice. Please speak to your certified financial advisor, a reputable, professional before you make any financial decisions. We're just on here just sharing some information. So everything on here is just for informational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence and research before you make any financial decisions.
And entertainment purposes only too. Woohoo!
Well,
Everybody get happy. Come on.
hopefully we're entertaining.
I hope
Yeah,
so too. My golly.
yes, sir.
Amen.
So, Jay, did you want to share a chart with the audience?
Yeah. Let me
I
see
know
here.
you offline. You were showing some fancy looking graph.
Yeah, trying to. Okay, let's see here. Okay, we have visual.
I don't see anything yet. Okay, I see something. All right. Yeah, I see an
Okay.
I see an XLM chart. So you might want to start with the XLM then.
Oh, wrong one. Okay. Let me back up a notch. XRP. Okay, let me blow the screen up, y'all. Okay, you see that okay?
I do. I see
Okay.
XRP at $3 and a fraction of a penny.
Wow. And you know what, guys? When I got it, it was I don't know, 30, 40 cents a token, I think. That was a few years ago, but yes, it is growing. You can see the curve here. How it was high, went low for a while, but then it slowly eased up like steps, dipped a little, and then bam, look at it, guys. It topped out at $3.03 today per token. Come on.
Not too shabby.
And then it fell down a little bit, you know,
Hey, Jay,
but not enough.
did you want to talk about what the use case is for XRP, or you want me to talk about that?
You can go ahead and talk a little bit about that, and then I'll elaborate on it. How's that?
Fair enough. So, from my understanding, XRP, what this token or this cryptocurrency was designed to do was for international trade and settlement. So when you're sending funds across cross-border payments, like you want to send funds to Germany or Switzerland or China or wherever the country may be, right now we would use the SWIFT system, which from my understanding is the Federal Reserve bank wiring system, the backbone. And that's what the SWIFT system is. And when we did sanctions against Russia, we kicked them off the SWIFT system, right? And they couldn't send money using the SWIFT system. So there was financial ramifications against Russia with the whole thing with Ukraine and all that. So now with XRP, can we replace the SWIFT system and it's far superior technology because the Swiss system, I believe, is from the 1960s. It's like, I don't know, 60 years old, over 50 years old. And XR, and it normally takes, it could take several days to a week for a large sum of money to settle internationally, but the XRP can do that in 3 seconds. It can send money across borders, across oceans,
Mm-hmm.
in 3 seconds, and also the transaction fees are very advantageous. They're like pennies to the dollar versus like the Swift system. So it's far superior. The flow of money is much quicker, more efficient, and so that is what is looking to take place is money sloshing back and forth between nations can be achieved much more easily and efficient with XRP versus our current system, which is the Swift system. And the Swift system is controlled by the US, whereas XRP would be, I don't think it would be controlled by any particular country. I think it's
XRP is
like level playing field.
decentralized. You got decentralized and centralized. Centralized is the Swift old guard defunct system. It's going down real soon. That's the fiat dollar, guys. We want to steer away from that. Diversify the portfolio, precious metals, your cryptocurrencies, and your paper, your basically your dong, your dinar, your zim. These are all diversified different investments. The XRP, from what I heard through my research, is designed divinely, sacredly, amen, for humanitarian improvement projects. It's supposed to also be part of the QFS financial system. Guess what, guys? The SWIFT system goes away and QFS comes into play. So let's all get prepared together. Amen.
And that being said, the Swiss system, sorry, XRP. There's been prophecies about this by a lot of people on the internet. A lot of prophecies about XRP. A lot of chatter from the YouTube community about XRP. But in addition to that, there's a lot of prophecies. And one of them I heard, her name is Sister Sharon from. So Jay, you mind if I share my screen real quick?
Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
Or can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So Sister Sharon has a channel called Now Daily Bread, and she has a bunch of videos about the wealth transfer, entering the ark. She's got prayer in here. She's got teachings in here. She's a mighty woman of God, and she had talked about here XRP prophetic dream. She has a lot of stuff on XRP. At one point, she had said that she saw a vision that XRP was going to be valued at 25,000 British pounds. So, because she's from Britain, and I think that equates to about 28,000 or $30,000 US per token.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So that is one of the highest prophecies. I think that's the highest prophecy I heard for dollar amount for XRP. Um, but there's a lot of people prophesying about XRP as part of the end time wealth transfer. The wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous. Proverbs 13:22. And not only Sister Sharon's talking about it, but Pastor Greg from Prophetic Insight, his channel, he talks about XRP all the time. But he's also
Yep.
been talking about other coins that he
Mm-hmm.
believes are seed coins because a lot of the people of God don't have a lot of money. So the seed
Right.
coins would be like Shiba Inu. He's talking about Shiba Inu, all these visions about Shiba Inu, and the money. He believes that Shiba Inu is going to go first, and that
Mm-hmm.
once that pops, you can take that money, roll it into XRP. You'll have more money to buy XRP. Shiba Inu is at 4 zeros, uh, and then point two. Let's see. I can look Shiba Inu chart. Oh, here it is. It's number 21 on coinmarketcap.com. It's at 0.00001255. So it's a fraction of a penny. It's what is that? One 10,000th of a penny, something like that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's Shiba Inu. Um, and then Jay, there was some other prophetic coins that they're talking about. XLM is another one, and they're talking about that being a seed coin too. And then they're talking about Terra Luna Classic, which is symbols LUNC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that one on here. LUNC. It's Terra Luna Classic. Anyway, anyway, guys, just do your due diligence on these coins: XRP, XLM, Shiba Inu, and Terra Luna Classic. Those are big prophetic coins. Um, and Carolyn Dennis from Declaring Your Destiny, she also prophesied about XRP. She didn't get into the XLM, Shiba Inu, or Terra Luna Classic, but she did talk about XRP. And this goes to my point earlier. I believe I made that point that the most prophecies that I've heard that have been floating around is about XRP.
Mm-hmm.
And the other ones is plenty, but not as many as XRP. So, um, for example, Carolyn Dennis, she talked about XRP. She didn't talk about the other. But Pastor Greg was talking about a bunch of coins, and also Sister Sharon was talking about a bunch. So, and then the alternative news was talking about this stuff. So, you got to be in it to win it. So, to speak to your financial advisor, do your due diligence, do your homework, and make some money.
I got a
Amen.
share for you. I got a share
Oh,
for
okay.
you.
Go for it. I'm
Um,
gonna stop my share.
this is a chain of blocks. A chain of blocks.
Oh, that's
Anyway,
the YouTube channel.
yes.
Yeah.
And he says he has proof XLT will XRP will hit $100. So that may be something worth looking into.
Did he say by when?
2025.
Okay. That'd be amazing. That's like 33x from now.
Get to the start. You see it?
No, not yet. Oh, here we go.
All right, let me start at the beginning. Now this is a chain of blocks.
Supporting evidence here in a minute. First, Brad, start us off with some good news.
I think when you get the real unlock of the United States economy and you get the real institutional money flowing in, I think it's just hard to predict some of the upside opportunity.
If we take a look at what happened in 2017, when XRP broke out of this multi-year triangle pattern, last cycle, you can see here that the 1.618 fib extension level got smashed. and even the 2.0 fib got met. So now that we have broken out of this multi-year,
Jay, can you make it louder?
you can see that the 1.618 level is here at around $28
How's that?
and 78 cents.
Better.
And that may actually be a conservative target, because if we see a similar run up to this 2.0 fib extension level, this cycle, after taking out all-time highs and the 1.618, it would price XRP at over $100. Will XRP reach $100?
Wow. So what do y'all think about that, huh?
I like it. I like it.
Pretty
I, I'm not going to complain if XRP gets $100, especially in the next 3-4 months. That'd be
it ain't gonna be long, folks. So you snooze, you might lose. So it's like, I guess it's like going and playing the lottery. You either win or you lose, right?
Well, Jay, you know what we were talking about the dollar in the other video, that the dollar is worthless, right? Basically,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
that's why we're talking about these other asset classes, right? Because these assets are, you want to own assets, not paper dollars. They don't have any value. It's not backed by anything at this point. So you want to diversify into something that has upward mobility. The dollar doesn't have any upward mobility. The dollar is guaranteed to lose money, to lose value, because they're printing it out of thin air. So every day inflation erodes away the value of the dollar, right, Jay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And
Most
so
definitely.
so protect ourselves against inflation, you got to get into other assets, like even the stock market. Those are, you own shares of stock, shares of stock go up. And inflation basically, it's like a rising tide raises all ships. Have you heard that metaphor? So say inflation rises all the assets because the dollars are worth less, so every asset costs more. So you lose, you're a big loser if you're holding on to dollars versus assets.
That's true. That's very true. And there's an individual here I want to share with you. Um, he's a doctor, he's a PhD, and he's quite brilliant in the very sense of the word. And Peter St. Onge, ONGE, PhD, and he says, "What happens in the first stages of the dollar collapse?" So it's a quickie too. So let's share it real fast. Okay, we on screen?
Yeah, you got the volume up.
Tons of natural gas from China denominated in yuan. This is a big deal. 6 weeks ago, it was just pariah nations like Iran or Russia trying to de-dollarize their trade. Last week it was Brazil, now it's France. So what happens next? What if the US dollar is about to be dethroned as the world's reserve currency? De-dollarization means foreigners don't need as many dollars. This means there are extra dollars nobody wants. This makes the price of the dollar fall. It gets weaker. That's usually slow at first, and then it picks up speed if it keeps going, a progressive rush for the exits. Note, we Americans are obligated to use the US dollar thanks to an obscure law passed in 1862 as a wartime emergency that somehow managed to survive for 151 years now. So Americans
That's why the Civil War started. One of the reasons.
have no choice. Unless you have gold or Bitcoin, you go down with that ship. Now, a falling dollar drives up the price of everything that comes into America, but it also drives up the price of anything traded on world markets. So that's the raw materials, the imported components that drive American factories and sustain American consumers. First to jump would be gasoline, heating fuel, food prices. All of these are world markets. They're very liquid. Along with prescription drugs, since China has a creeping stranglehold thanks to our idiotic overregulation. Indeed, this is more or less true for every consumer product that China dominates. We shot ourselves in the foot. Now it's coming back to bite us. Next, those jumps in trading commodities and input prices pour out through the supply chains. They yank up prices in industry after industry. So cars, construction materials like steel or concrete, clothes, furniture, TVs, computers, medical devices. Gone are the days of affordable luxuries. Now you got to work for it. And that's when the main event begins, capital flows. If foreigners get nervous, they sell not only dollars, they sell assets denominated in dollars. Starting with the most.
In other words, folks, it's going down. They're working on air. There's nothing backing this bill. So the fiat dollar is dying. So you will see how things start to fall like dominoes, along with all the alphabet organizations. They're all running on air. They run on money, and it's a false narrative across the board. So anyway, that's enough of that. You guys can subscribe to him, follow him if you want to. And that's pretty much it on that. As far as our dollar is not stable. Alternative investments are the way to go. Precious metal, the certificate monies, the foreign currencies, and the cryptocurrency. So across the board, in my opinion, I think that would be a good way to kind of get some of your money out of the worthless dollar that we have out there. What do you think about that, JT?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more that to diversify out of the dollar into tangible assets. Assets, absolutely.
Okay, well, we got a few other things we're going to cover in the next couple episodes. I don't even know how long we've been on here now, but
So
having
we've
so
been
much
on
fun with it.
20, about 22 minutes.
Okay, well, my closing statement is this: united, not divided. Okay, we all got to get together. It's a movement. It's a big movement in health and wealth. So let's unite together and stay in the high love frequency vibrations. And we'll see you guys next time. Any closing words for you, JT?
God bless you, everyone. Right.
Amen.